So, first, shall we catch up? What's
catch
everyone been doing?
Well, the big thing is obviously XONZ.
Big thing that I managed to
Reagan managed
unfortunately
to miss,
get to.
Yeah.
But we went along, and thanks so much to Xbox New Zealand for having us. It was a fantastically run event.
Oh, yeah. So the event itself was really good. I mean, comparing it to some of the New Zealand events we've been to in the past, probably the best.
Yeah.
How would you compare it to, say, Microsoft's like E3? Like, you know how they normally have, like, everyone goes afterwards. I'm not talking about the big show floor thing, but when they invite the press in after hours to the gaming section.
I've never been to Xbox as one of those. Only that other company. So it was better then, I think. Like, it was more put on.
Actually, we can't comment on that.
I guess we can't.
You haven't been. Okay, so I've been to the E3 version, and you have been to this version. So okay, never mind.
Anyway,
compared to the E3 show floor, I much preferred this because the E3 show floor is a mess.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I was actually just going to say, obviously, there's some stuff to be said about how there was no Digital Nations this year, and this, as compared to Xbox's showing at Digital Nations, fantastic.
Yeah, well, it's strange because it should have been the same showing. Like, all this was put in preparation for if Digital Nations was going ahead this year. And the fact that Digital Nations didn't go ahead, it almost worked out better because they were able to set it up in a way that they weren't, restricted by Digital Nations. They could lay it out however they wanted. They got their own venue. And
I'm sure it works out better for them in terms of, like, we were going there the whole day to think solely about Xbox and to go through all of that stuff really in depth, more so than you would when you're like at Digital Nations and everything's around you and you're trying to take in a million things, right? And so they had it at the studio venue on K Road, which is interesting. And it was like really dark inside, so they lit everything with green, and like it was kind of like an old, I guess it's an old kind of venue, so it's got exposed bricks, and it looked really good. Like, I'm sure maybe you didn't care, but I thought that the event design was really, really well done.
Okay.
It suited their kind of Rock Band 4 showing
really
well.
Nice.
Obviously, being a music venue, Rock Band 4. What do you think?
It was more Rock Band. I don't think it was any better than Rock Band 3.
So no, because I haven't really. I'm a big fan of the previous music games. So there's not much of a bump up.
No,
because I know Guitar Hero is going on a completely different path where they're wanting you to feel like you're on stage and what you're watching is the audience in front of you and band members around you.
And maybe it was because I play both now. Yeah. So maybe it was the hype at E3, but I enjoyed the new Guitar Hero much better. Right. And I think because it had changed, it was a little bit different. There was 6 buttons, both 3 top and bottom, which took me a while to get the hang of. And the interface looked next gen. It was like you could go online. There was like a streaming service, that sort of thing. This, like, I didn't play much around with the interface, but it looked like a track list from Rock Band 3.
Right.
They said they were saying like 1,500 songs, I think. So like the content's all there, but it was Rock Band 4, a direct sequel to Rock Band 3.
And you can use all of your current. I was going to call them weapons. Instruments. You can use all your current. You can use all your current instruments, so you don't have to upgrade if you don't want to.
No idea.
I don't know if that's true or not. Actually,
yeah, they've mentioned that you can use your old stuff. I don't know how they're going to incorporate them because obviously the Wi-Fi, or the Bluetooth, or whatever it is to connect them might be a little different. So it might be a USB dongle that you plug in and that it does it that way. But I've heard that you can use your instruments you've already got.
Okay, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, it was fun. Nothing really super new to talk about. So that was kind of what we were playing when we were waiting for the event to kick off anyway.
So if you're a fan of the previous ones, you'll be able to play this one without any adjustment.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. I could pick up the controller, put it on hard, and be fine.
Yeah.
Whereas playing Guitar Hero.
Brag there, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. I used to play on Expert. That's all I dropped it.
I roll.
But like picking up the Guitar Hero at E3, putting it on hard, I failed. So the learning curve's there, which is good because that's kind of the mastery is what brings you back to those games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very different progressions between those two.
So we saw a couple of trailers and we played a couple of games. I'd like to talk about the Quantum Break trailer because I found this interesting.
Before you jump into that, I just want to say this was a game that I was super excited about when they first started showing it off. Because I came down from them like bringing Alan Wake onto Xbox 360. Huge fan of that. Right. Then they're like, we're not going to do a sequel, but we've got this other thing coming called Quantum Break. I'm like, all right, this looks pretty good. And some of the stuff they showed off, like tying it in with like a TV show I think they're doing. Yeah. And like the pausing time and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Looked awesome.
Okay.
So I saw Quantum Break make its E3 debut last year. Last year's E3, or was it the year before?
Yeah,
Last
might have been the year before, actually.
Yeah, and then...
It's been a while. It's been quite some time now.
So I watched that, and there was kind of a jarring trailer with the TV show, and then a little bit of gameplay. I think they tried to tie it in. And then it went dark, right? It went silent, and it wasn't at E3 this year. I haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything about it. And then we get shown this trailer at XONZ, and it's one of the worst trailers I've ever seen. And it's not to say the game will be bad or anything, but the trailer was really bad.
Yeah, my general advice was they should have just skipped it. Like, it just was
not shown it.
It just was a real, like...
It was like, no, the whole thing was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, they showed, to start with, a little trailer with some gameplay, but the gameplay... I don't think was gameplay. Like, it was like mock gameplay.
Like pre-scripted
stuff. Pre kind of rendered, and like it would flick between these little animation, and then this is what you would be able to if it was gameplay. Kind of, it felt like that. And then they showed 2 clips from the tied-in TV show, going separate ways to kind of show that, depending on your choices, it kind of changed the TV show.
Oh, that's cool.
But nothing flowed together, and you just kind of left thinking, like, was that 2 clips and a game? Or
if you weren't aware, like, I'm sure it was a press event, so people were aware.
Sure.
But like, I hope that they create some surrounding content to that if they're putting that out in the public arena, because it was very like, what did I just see?
Because firstly, like the gameplay one stopped, and then it went into the TV show, and there was nothing to say it was the same trailer. So I was like, what am I watching now?
So it didn't feel like the gameplay ended in a way that led into the clip.
Nah, not at all.
Didn't feel like that.
Not at all. So, like, the game potentially really good. That trailer was just bad. Like, it didn't make any sense.
Did they show, like, because you're saying if you do something, it changes what you viewed on the TV show later.
Yeah.
Did you see the 2 different gameplay sections so you could see the choice?
No.
And they showed both?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No, you had no idea why the scene had changed.
Right.
It just did. It was like watching a weird car crash commercial where it was like, but if you didn't drive, you wouldn't hit the girl. Like.
Indicative of what you think the game's going to be like, or they just did a bad trailer?
No, because I don't know what the choice was. Like, because they play on the idea of reversing time.
Yeah.
So was that a choice, or was it like a decision I made?
Right.
That wasn't clear if I had changed time or not.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even clear who the protagonist was in the scene. No. Yeah, so I don't really know what's going on. It was a bad trailer, but game could be good. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, no love nor hate really felt.
Those guys need a big win because they haven't had a game out since Alan Wake, and that was hugely delayed. That was like a 8-year cycle, I think it was, or 10-year.
I wouldn't be expecting this one anytime soon.
And that's what everyone's saying as well. This is another one where it's been 3 years since they unveiled it. 3 years? 2 years since they unveiled it, and it's like it's still pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Based on that gameplay they showed.
Yeah.
There's no gameplay. Like, they haven't built it yet. Like,
there was a clip, I think, that someone showed. I saw on the net somewhere of like this really beautifully animated, like leaping punch to this police officer, and it looked beautiful. But
was it the TV show?
No, I'm pretty certain that was gameplay. I'm pretty sure that was gameplay. Okay. It looked great. So it looks like there is some gameplay. Right. I just don't know. Yeah, I don't know what you've seen, what you haven't seen. Hopefully there'll be a link somewhere, or hopefully they'll put it online for everyone to see.
Yeah. Well, I've got no reason to think the game will be bad, but I do think it's not coming out anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
The other trailer we saw was Fallout 4. We saw all those trailers again. We were told, not to record it, and that was all pretty secretive and stuff, but most of it we'd seen before.
Yeah, most of it was online.
Was there anything new?
Not that I noticed.
They showed a little bit. The only thing I hadn't seen before, but I don't know if it is online or not, is how they animated Dogmeat, which was really
cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so it was a bit of like kind of the backstory to how he is one of the game developers, designers.
Yeah, dog.
So they actually mocapped the dog?
Yeah, and so they showed a whole bunch of how they'd done that. And
Well, it didn't look like they did mocap him, but they just filmed him for ages.
They did just film him, studied him.
Just get a lot of reference.
And the sound clips are all actually
him climbing under tables and things. Yeah.
Right.
That's quite cool. It was weird because it was kind of a little trailer about kind of the graphics in Fallout 4, which is strange because that's not really what that game's going to be about. No. It's not going to be the best looking game in the world.
No.
It looks great though.
It does look good.
It does look really nice.
The world's beautiful, but it's not really breaking any.
It's not going to be Uncharted or anything.
Standards.
It's not going to be like.
And like Fallout 3 when that first came out, it was kind of laughable. Like the environments were great, but everything else was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Didn't stop it from being great though.
No.
What was cool and what I really like about it, which will probably get me playing this one more so than the last, is that they've brought on the team at id Software to advise on the shooter mechanics.
Yeah.
So that if you want to play it as an action shooter game, you can.
Yeah.
Whereas Fallout 3 was obviously very you had the what's it called? Where you kind of pick the area on the person you want to shoot.
Yeah.
You've still got that.
You've still got that. You can play it either way.
Yeah.
So
and you can play it either way in Fallout 3 as well.
Yeah, but I just don't know how developed that first-person shooter stuff was. It was a bit clunky.
It seemed okay, but this was in a time, when Fallout 3 came out, I wouldn't say that first-person shooters, like story-based first-person shooters, weren't really that big of a thing on console at the time. I mean, there was a few, but it wasn't not at the state we're at now.
Yeah.
The other thing that was really exciting that we saw actually was a bit about the collecting mechanics in the game and how there's nothing in the game that has no use. Every single thing that you collect, I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, so if you find some trash, you might have some glue in it or something which you can use to upgrade, which is quite cool.
Rather than just cashing everything that you get in for caps.
It's probably a good time to mention that Theo's not here this week.
Oh, yeah.
I just think he'd be well in on this conversation.
So Theo's missing this week because he's actually from Auckland and was at XONZ with us and has stayed in Auckland to hang out with his friends for the weekend.
Yeah.
So
in fact, we probably missed that because we didn't intro ourselves.
We didn't intro
That's
ourselves.
okay. That's right. You know who we are.
You guys know who we are by
We'll
now.
do it next video.
That's cool. He would have quite a bit to say about Fallout, I'm sure, because he's a big Fallout fan.
You probably also do a shout out to 2am Gaming, I think.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We have to do a shout out to 2am.
Watch those guys.
Theo.
So we played Halo, we played Rainbow Six, and we saw The Division. So what do you think of The Division trailer?
I, for the first time, was excited by The Division. And I'm probably not going to play that game, but I've always looked at the trailers and been like...
See, I've gone the other way. I'm like, The Division's gone full... what's the game you used to hack stuff?
What?
That they showed for Eva?
Oh, Watch Dogs.
Yeah, The Division's gone full Watch Dogs on me, and I've seen so many trailers of the same thing that I'm just like, I'm bored of this.
This was the first time I thought I could play that game and I'd like it. So that was interesting.
I'm with Jordan on this one. It's been too long. This is another one that they've shown off like for 3 years now, and it started off looking amazing.
Yeah.
And it's every single time they show it, it's had a drop in graphical quality, like every single time.
I don't think my standards are that high.
Watch Dogs are the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Ubisoft are shockers for it.
Yeah.
They'll be like, this game's nowhere near ready, put it out there, make it look mint, and then like just downgrade it.
And if Ubisoft want to sponsor one of these episodes,
we'll review it. But then we played Rainbow Six. And this is a game I had no interest through the trailers, but when you get behind the controller and play it, it's really good.
No, this is a game that I think Theo and I both have beta codes for. So that's something
the beta's this weekend.
I received my code earlier today.
Yeah.
So it's this weekend.
Yep, you could definitely download it yesterday. Yeah.
But I only just got the code this morning.
Interesting.
But it will run on Monday, right?
How long does it run for?
I don't know actually.
It'll be
I
available.
should get some more answers.
Just
don't know. It's
so
over now by the time you watch this, probably.
Yeah, it'll be over by the time you've watched this. Hopefully, we'll have something to talk about it next time.
Yeah.
So we played about 4 or 5 rounds.
We'll have something to talk about it this time.
Yeah. And I really liked it. I didn't think I'd like it, and because it was it seemed a bit too hardcore for me. I'm not really into that really hardcore.
I didn't think I'd like it. Didn't like it.
Have you played the previous Rainbow Six games?
No.
Okay.
I like the whole fact that it was a lot about your kind of environment and that kind of setup.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that dynamic to work as well as it did. But yeah, it was
just putting
cool.
it out there though, that's going to be a horrendous game to play online if you don't know your team.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be so bad.
Because the original Rainbow Six games were you had like a team of 6, and you got like a top-down view of the map, and you would actually click on your guys and actually set paths for them to go, and then you would inhabit the body of one of them and run around. And so you'd strategize, tell your team exactly everything you want them to do, and then you would play.
So someone was in charge.
Yeah. It was great.
This is very much like everyone communicate. You're going to need a strategy, but there's no guidance to what that should be.
I thought you had a leader.
Do you? I thought we just picked one.
Yeah, I thought we picked a leader.
Oh yeah, but that was only between us, right? There was no in-game mechanic that denoted the leader. So if you were playing with randoms...
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
Might be wrong.
But you both enjoyed it?
No, I did not enjoy it.
I liked it. I liked it more.
I would give that so many nars.
Really?
Yeah. It was horrible.
Just because people weren't working together,
no,
or
everyone
because
was
you had to
together.
work together?
I just didn't like it as a game. It's not my cup of tea. It's just not. Like throwing barbed wire and like barricading walls and no.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Not into it.
What did you like about it?
I liked how it was a bit different. Like it wasn't, it wasn't run and gun. It was kind of like you did have the classes felt really different. The fact that you could infiltrate walls and do different paths to find the base.
Sure.
I really liked. So there's like a rush for people to be the guy with the sledgehammer so you can knock on all the barriers. So I quite like it when it becomes more, class based rather than all kind of twitch reflex stuff. Which is something I get sick of.
Defending in that game is stressful.
Yeah.
So can you talk a bit about the game? Because I haven't played it. I don't know about. So there's an attack and a defense.
Yeah. And so if you're an attacker, you basically get like 45 seconds to. Sorry, did I just say attacker? Yeah. If you're an attacker, you get 45 seconds to be a little drone and explore the area that is being defended, and you're basically trying to locate a package that's being defended.
Because it could be in any one of the rooms.
You
don't know where it is.
And if you are a defender, you're getting 45 seconds to barricade, strengthen walls,
that sounds
put
awesome.
down barbed wire.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool. So does everyone on the attacking side get a drone?
Yeah.
And they all get 45 seconds to just run around and sort of say, it's not in this room, it's in this room.
Yeah. So you get 3 phases. You get like 15 seconds or whatever it is of choosing your class to make sure everyone's kind of got the bases covered. And then you get your setup, which is either drones or barricading stuff. Yeah. And then you have 4 minutes to either kill all the team or do the objective.
Just 4 minutes.
Yeah, and
that's cool. I like that. It's kind of like that Splatoon gameplay. You got like 2 minutes in Splatoon to get as much of it covered as possible. This you got 4 minutes. I like it, and kind of it makes you go, oh well, I've only got half an hour to play tonight. I can actually have like a good half dozen games.
Yeah, so that was good.
Yeah, I like that. And then we played Halo.
We did.
The new Halo. What were your thoughts on the new Halo?
Why me? Yeah, that's a hard one. Like I have played all of the Halo, so all of Halo series. I've loved it. I didn't feel as amazed by this as I wanted to feel. I guess it's like I don't know if I keep thinking that Destiny's ruined Halo for me. Like it wasn't like it just. I know, and that sounds terrible, but it's like. I just didn't feel like the gameplay was fast enough, and I didn't feel like it was, next level anything. Like it just kind of was. It's Halo, and it was good. Like it wasn't bad. I liked it. It just was. I don't really have anything exciting to say about it.
Have you been a fan of the previous Halo games?
Yeah, I love Halo. But like the thing about Halo was, okay, so this was just like 12 versus 12, was it?
Oh, right, so you're just doing the multiplayer stuff.
Yeah, and so the thing about Halo is the Halo story is where the heart of Halo lives, right? Like for me, it's where it lives.
Yeah.
And so, I just
you don't really into the multiplayer stuff.
Like I'll play it, but it's like if I was going to play an online like shooter, I'll probably just play Call of Duty or Destiny rather than this. Like I don't know.
It's interesting you say Destiny because it's such a story-driven game.
It's not though, really. Well, I mean, maybe now the Taken King is. Haven't played it, don't know, but
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it at all?
No, and it's like I've never been a huge Halo fan, but I've liked the previous Halos.
Right.
And the problem I had with this, and maybe it's just the mode, but it didn't feel like Halo to me. To me, Halo is a 3-on-3 kind of capture the flag. It's quite, it's almost, I won't call it casual because it's not, but, you can kind of pick up and play and, you get the power sword and you get a few kills and it's a bit of fun. This felt to me like they've gone too competitive. Like the map was too large. There was like too many players. There was, snipers from across the map and it felt like more of a competitive shooter like Battlefield and that sort of thing, which I'm not so much into.
Battlefield.
Yeah, it did.
It was strange.
Yeah, I didn't feel like Halo to me, which was why I kind of didn't like it.
Right.
Yeah. It's fair.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I feel like Halo, who dominated the market for so long, is now starting to play catch up. And they're looking at what other people are doing rather than innovating themselves. Because
it's also not Bungie anymore, right?
Yeah, right.
So was it 343?
Yeah.
Who now they did some of the earlier stuff, but like the side ones, right? They did ODST, I think.
And they did Halo 4. No, this is what?
This is 5.
This is
5. They did 4.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think when you're looking at a series, it would be like handing Uncharted over to someone else. You know?
Yeah.
They might do an okay job and they'll try and mirror it as close as they can, but they're going to have their own kind of feel to it as well.
Yeah.
Bit of sparkle's gone.
Yeah, I would have much rather pick up Halo 2 and play it with friends than pick up Halo 5 and play that game again.
Right. Controversial.
I will definitely play it for the story. I will definitely pick it
Yeah,
up.
I mean, we didn't play enough of it to give a fully formed opinion.
Yeah.
It was just based on one map and one experience. So, But that was what we played. Anything else that we played at XONZ?
Tomb Raider.
Right.
Ooh.
I loved it.
Xbox exclusive for a half year, I think?
Year.
A year.
Yeah. So interesting because I will probably play on PC anyway.
Right.
But it was a puzzle level. So that we played through an entire puzzle level. It was like, I loved it. I really loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
It was just amazing. Yeah.
And it felt like Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Which I really liked. Like I haven't played all of the last one.
Right.
But this is Tomb Raider solving puzzles, exploring tombs,
sure.
Through it.
Because I think that was most people's biggest complaint about the previous one was there was a decent amount of action. The story was amazing, but there was a bit of a lack in
Yeah. And this definitely brings that,
which is
back.
great. Yeah.
I'm still not 100% sold on her.
Oh.
I'm.
What's wrong with her?
Jordan wants her to be more Tomb Raider-y.
Yeah. Like, I feel like she got out of bed.
He wants her to be more exciting.
I wanted to get out of bed in the morning and be like, I'm fucking Tomb Raider, and I'm gonna
badass.
Yeah, I've got attitude, and I'm gonna go solve these puzzles and get this.
But this is the first story. This is like a prequel to all the previous games, right? So the last Tomb Raider we had was like, this is Lara Croft, and this is her first adventure in the wilderness and learning how to kill people.
Yeah.
And then this one is like right after that, right? This one is basically, this is her first proper, her going, I'm going to go out and raid a tomb.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think they're going to build to that.
Yeah, I just hope she gets a bit of more of attitude as the series progresses.
I think you're asking a bit much. I liked it.
Was she a bit, did you feel she came off a little too weak?
Yeah, I think she does. I like, because I feel like, she's there for all the, she's there for all the right reasons. She's like, I just want to, save the, she feels like she's out there trying to save the pandas. Like,
I thought it was about pandas.
Nah, but that's what I feel. Like, she's a bit of a greenie. I want her to be like, I actually really like Angelina Jolie's Tomb Raider.
Oh, don't.
Those movies are bad, but her as a character that was quite strong.
Oh.
You're just wrong.
Yeah.
They'll
get there. They're at the point. I guarantee there's going to be an arc within this one where she goes from I'm off and this is my first one, I'm blah blah blah. But as you ramp up from the third act, will be her just kicking ass.
Yeah, I reckon too.
Yeah, well, that's why I just wanted to get out of bed and be like, I'm gonna.
And that'll be the start of the next Tomb Raider game. She'll be getting out of bed.
Yeah, I wanted to get out of bed.
But she'll be just serious look on her face, this tomb is going to be raided.
Yeah. I'm so
this
badass.
is it.
And her friend rings her and is like, do you want to come to my birthday? And she's like, nah, I've got shit to do.
Yeah, birthdays are shit.
Yeah.
There's no tombs to raid at your birthday. That's all she'll be about in the next one.
And she's just kicking puppies.
Using little ice hooks to just stab anything around her. She'll be walking down a hallway, pulling herself down a hallway with her axe.
Yeah, that's it. No stairs in her house.
No. And that's where she eventually gets that mansion.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It was a great game.
Has she always been rich?
Yeah, well, the Croft family is meant to be quite well. Because they're all adventurers, right, supposedly?
Yeah. She's archaeologist, though.
Archaeologist, sorry, yeah.
It was great. I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The other highlight for me was actually getting my hands on with Cuphead.
Oh, Cuphead.
And it was glorious. It looks amazing. When I went to pick up the controller, it was said to me, it's very hard, and they were not wrong. It's very hard.
It's not the game I thought it was. It looks amazing. I thought it was a platformer. It's not really. It's it's a game that's boss battles. It's all boss battles.
What we saw was.
No, I think
that's surprising because honestly, I was picturing it to be a platformer with boss fights.
Yeah.
But if it's are you saying from what you've seen, it's pretty much just pick a stage and that's a boss fight?
Yeah, I'm 95% sure it's entirely boss battles.
That'd be a short game.
It's probably.
I feel like it's really.
I felt like there was a dozen. There was a dozen that we saw, and maybe there's more.
See, a dozen boss fights isn't much. You'd need something else. I say that, but how many boss fights did Shadow of the Colossus have?
Yeah.
And that was amazing.
True.
But I don't know, maybe. There's got to be some way to get to these other than just selecting a point, though, right?
Yeah, it's a little overworld map that you just wander around, kind of like Ni no Kuni, and then you go to your level and you click on it.
Yeah, interesting.
To be honest, even if it is that, just the art sold me. The art is just
completely
completely sold me. Because they only just showed that off at this year's E3. Yes. That was its first showing, and it blew me away. It looks like an old 1920s Disney cartoon.
And it certainly lives up to that, it looks.
Yeah. And to give you an idea for the difficulty, I didn't see anyone pass the level.
No, I didn't see anyone. He did say that people had, though.
Did he?
Yeah.
He said he passed one.
Maybe he's been there all day.
Yeah. He said he could only pass one, and he kind of pointed us onto that one, and it felt like it was achievable. Some of the other ones were like, I don't even know how.
So is it just because, is it like a bullet hell game? There's just things coming from everywhere at all times?
Absolutely like that, yeah.
That's it.
Okay. And out of all of those, what was you guys' favourite that you saw?
My favourite was Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Hands down.
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Both of you?
Yeah.
Jordan's just the most unenthusiastic Xbox.
No, that's not true. I don't have an Xbox, so I can't get too excited because I won't be able to play them.
Yeah.
But
Microsoft?
I feel like you were the most
missing out on an Xbox.
Yeah, Hot Chips needs an Xbox, and then we can review these awesome Xbox games.
I feel like you were the most passionate about Rainbow Six.
I know, I was the most surprised about Rainbow Six.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I would much rather play Tomb Raider.
Right. Okay.
Least favourite? One that you're just not excited about?
Quantum Break. Oh, we didn't even talk about Forza. Forza was there.
But that's meant, it's meant to be amazing, right? People are raving about that one, but it's just because you're not
just not a fan.
It's just always the same.
No,
they've got weather this time.
It has night
weather.
now. It has night and weather.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I'm sure if you're a Forza fan, you'd love it. But the problem is we're just not. So.
Oh, wait a second. Highlight also for me was hands-on with the Elite controller, which I hadn't had before.
Yeah.
And
the $200 controller.
Their price point is a little high, I think. But
that is very high for a controller.
But they're selling.
They're selling very well, apparently, and it did feel nice.
Still has double A's.
Oh,
Sort
really?
it out.
That is upsetting, though.
Sort it out.
Why is there bad?
That's really bad.
It is upsetting, but it is a cool controller. Like, I like the idea. I like the direction that it's going in.
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
Okay. Well, it feels like we've all caught up.
Yeah, that was a long catch up today.
Big catch up.